السلام عليكم، حياكم الله. أنا راكان ورجعنا من جديد، وهذه المرة لمراجعة فيلم ذا بلاك فون ولقاءات مع المخرج سكوت ديريكسون والنجم ايثان هاك. فيلم ذا بلاك فون من بطولة ايثان هاك والطفلين ميسون وميدلين، ومن إخراج المخرج المتمرس في أفلام الرعب سكوت ديريكسون. وتدور أحداث هذا الفيلم عن قاتل يخطف أحد الأطفال ويضع هذا الطفل بقبو، ليتفاجأ الطفل أنه يستطيع التواصل مع الضحايا السابقين من خلال الهاتف. ومثل ما قلت في المقدمة، سويت لقاءات مع المخرج، مع الممثل ايثان هاك، وحتى مع الأطفال ميسون وميدلين. وبالمناسبة اللقاءات ما فيها حرق أبدا لأحداث هذا الفيلم، واللقاءات اللي سويتها معاهم من أكثر اللقاءات اللي انبسطت فيها. استمتعت كثير بالكلام مع المخرج مع الممثل، وأعطوني وجهة نظر مختلفة خلتني أغير نظرتي عن بعض النقاط الموجودة بالفيلم. فبكل أمانة ودي أنكم تستمتعون باللقاءات أكثر من المراجعة، لذلك المراجعة راح تكون قصيرة ومختصرة على 3 نقاط أساسية. والنقطة الأولى هي نقطة الكتابة. الفيلم من ناحية الكتابة كان جيد جدا، ما كان مبهر ولا كان سيء. جوهر الفيلم كان مختلف قليلا عن الأشياء اللي متعودين نشوفها بأفلام الرعب. المعالجة الدرامية للحدث كانت جيدة، وحتى رتم الفيلم كان جيد. الفيلم ما كان طويل لدرجة مملة، ولا كان قصير لدرجة تشعر أنه الأحداث كلها محشورة مع بعض. لا، الفيلم أخذ وقته بالبناء، قدم لي الشخصيات بشكل جيد، جوانبها العاطفية درامية، كيف هي قاعدة تعيش الآن في هذه البيئة، إلى أن وصل للمنعطف اللي يراهن عليه منعطف الرعب. وهنا أنا مشكلتي مع الفيلم، جانب الرعب والشر بالفيلم ما شعرت أنه مكثف صراحة، بل حتى وجود ايثان هاك ما شعرت فيه. كان ودي وجوده يكون أكبر من كذا بكثير صراحة. لذلك سألت المخرج وسألت ايثان ما إذا كان في خطة لصناعة فيلم عن ذا جرابر، وأجوبتهم راح تسمعونها باللقاء. من ناحية التمثيل فالأطفال ميسون وميدرين قدموا أداء رهيب، أداء خلاب صراحة. الأطفال موهوبين وقدامهم مستقبل باهر في عالم الأفلام. على المستوى الإخراجي الفيلم ما قدم شيء مذهل وشيء رهيب. يعني أنا شفت أفلام رعب إخراجيا كانت ممتازة مثل كوايت بليس، أو حتى فيلم مالجننت الجيمس وان اللي نزل السنة الماضية. الفيلم إخراجيا كان ممتاز. هذا الفيلم ما كان مميز من الناحية الإخراجية، إخراجيا كان الفيلم عادي، فلا تنتظر شيء كبير من الإخراج بهذا الفيلم. بشكل عام الفيلم ممتع، ومتعة الفيلم مرهونة عليك أنت وعلى توقعاتك أنت. إذا دخلت الفيلم بسقف توقعات مرتفع قياسا على التقييمات العالية فراح تصاب بخيبة أمل. أنا استمتعت بالفيلم، ولكن زي ما قلت الفيلم إخراجيا ما قدم لي تجربة مختلفة، وجانب الشر بالفيلم ما شعرت فيه بشكل مكثف. أنصح بس زي ما قلت قبل شوي، حاول يعني توزن سقف توقعاتك. وأنصحكم أكثر أنكم تتابعون اللقاءات لأنها ممتعة. أنا استمتعت فيها وبدون حرق، ما فيها حرق أبدا لأحداث هذا الفيلم. كم تقييمي يترجح ما بين 6 إلى 7 من 10، لذلك بعطيه 6.5 من 10. لايك إذا عجبك هذا المقطع، واشترك بالقناة إذا ما كنت مشترك، وفعل جرس التنبيهات. ولازم أقرأ تعليقاتكم عن الفيلم إذا شفتوا الفيلم أو لا، وكذلك عن اللقاء. تابعوا اللقاءات لأني أنا استمتعت فيها صراحة. أشوفكم المقطع الجاي. سلام. Congratulations for the film. And let me start. In this year alone we saw you as a villain 2 times. Is it a coincidence or you planned for it?
Well, I don't know. You know, I don't generally like to play villains, and in a lot of ways Black Phone is really the only legit villain, because in the Marvel thing Arthur Harrow thinks he's the good guy. You know, I mean, he's not really a villain in the same way. The Grabber is a villain. He is a force for evil. So, I don't know. Part of it might be the stage of my career. You know, you get older and people find you scary.
So, what's something special about this role, the Grabber?
Well, what's special about it is I think that Scott Derrickson is a master of this genre. You know, I love making Sinister with him. It's a terrifying movie. And if you want to see a scary movie on Friday night, you know, Scott Derrickson will give you the goods. But what made this one really special to me was the story of the young people in it. It's kind of the first horror movie I've come across where it's genuinely scary, and it's just got a heart of gold. It's a coming of age drama that's terrifying, which is not a movie I've exactly seen before. I find their journey, the brother and sister taking care of each other and how they learn to take responsibility for their own lives despite an adult world that doesn't seem to pay any attention to them. I found that moving. So to be moved by a horror movie is kind of unique.
What's the new in the Black Phone?
What's new in it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Comparing with your previous films.
I think what's new in it is that, you know, it's one thing to try to tell a story that's scary, that's going to scare the audience, and it's another thing to tell a scary, suspenseful story from the point of view of love. And there's a lot of love in this movie. You know, it's a very scary movie. It's very suspenseful, but it's also got a lot of hope in it. It's also got a lot of emotion, a lot of feelings, a lot of positive feelings of joy and devotion between these siblings, and that all comes from Joe Hill's short story. You know, I felt the same way about Joe Hill's short story, and I thought that, you know, I think this is certainly the most emotional and kind of hopeful movie I've made, even though it's simultaneously one of the scariest movies I've made. I think that's what makes it unique.
Do you think The Grabber deserves a sequel to describe his backstory?
Do we need a sequel to describe his backstory? You know, it's like, I think that what makes The Grabber fascinating is what makes a lot of real-life serial killers and sadists fascinating, which is we don't understand why they are the way they are. They're a mystery. You know, Ted Bundy had a good childhood. You know, sometimes these creatures are just a straight mystery. And I think the more that you try to explain the backstory of a true, frightening, mysterious, dangerous villain, sometimes the more likely you are to ruin the effectiveness of that character. Do we really need to know why Hannibal Lecter eats people? If we found that out, would he be scarier, or would he be less scary? You know, I kind of tend to think that that we're better off. You know, if we really know why Heath Ledger's the Joker had the scars, would he be more scary? Would he be more menacing? No, I think he'd be less menacing. I think it'd be less interesting. So mystery is a big part of what makes for a really, really good, really dangerous villain. And sometimes that mystery has to be protected.
About The Grabber, do you think there will be a sequel for the backstory of The Grabber?
I wonder. I think there's something complete about this movie. It doesn't scream to me. I would be super interested if Joe Hill, who, you know, wrote the story that this is based on, if he felt so inclined to explore the history of the Grabber. You know, like when you first meet Darth Vader, he's absolutely terrifying, and then they spent 3 movies telling you how he became Darth Vader, and they did a good job with it. So, I don't know, anything's possible.
Okay, Ethan. I would mention that 2 weeks ago I was with your daughter and interviewing her in Stranger Things, and today I am with the father. I'm so happy, and congratulations again.
Well, thanks. Yeah, Maya did her own scary movie, didn't she?
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. In the Black Phone, you just mentioned Mason and Madeline. Both of them, I believe this is their first time in a feature-length film. How did you brought out their best?
They're just talented kids.
They were amazing.
They're extraordinarily talented kids. I got very lucky. I looked at hundreds and hundreds of kids, and both Madeline and Mason were so much better than anybody else that I read or auditioned for those roles. And so in the case of each one of them, I just spoke to them like adults. I directed them like adults. You know, the scene when Madeline gets whipped by her father, I just talked to her a few days ahead of time, and I said, you've got to really cry. You've got to be in incredible distress. You've got to really be upset about this in the scene. And she said, okay, if I can have just a couple minutes in silence to prepare. I said, sure. She asked for that. We gave her silence. We went to shoot that scene, and she just did what she did. She's unbelievable in that scene.
She was amazing.
Yeah, and you can't teach that. A director can't make that happen. That has to come from the raw talent and the raw ability of the actor. And so the thing I did right was I cast them.
Again, Scott, congratulations on the film.
Thanks so much.
And thank you. Do you like horror stories?
Definitely.
Yes, I try to watch a lot of clips on YouTube with horror films because I don't get to see a lot of horror movies.
I am from Saudi Arabia and the movie is R-rated. Can you...
I just came in here to say hello.
Hello,
Thought I crashed the interview.
I literally just said I hope we get to see Scott again.
I just said
These
the
two
movie...
kids have no talent. They're terrible actors. I wish them well in their future career doing plays for free.
Thank you.
Best actors I've ever worked with. Geniuses.
Thank you.
Amazing. You are gifted. Last question. The movie is R-rated here in Saudi Arabia. How can you watch it? Can you watch the movie or you can't?
Yeah, we
Technically,
actually watched
I don't
it.
think I'm old enough.
I'm not old enough.
I've seen it,
13.
but I don't
I
think-
would be allowed if it was PG-13, but I have seen it,
Yeah.
surprisingly. But I think it's only because I was in it. My mom let me watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I'm so happy to have you on my YouTube channel. And again, congratulations on the film. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.